Today is Thursday, 22nd December 2022, an extremely frigid evening here in North America, but keeping warm with the soulful nourishment of Bhagavad Gita Recitation that we had today for Chapter 2. So here's the recap video Mommy and I are going to present.
Radhe Radhe.
So we covered Chapter 2, verses 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. As always, we shall start off with hearing their rendition first.
So Chapter 2, verse number 31. Swadharmam api chavekshya na vikampitum arhasi dharmyadhi yuddhat shreyonyat kshatriyasya na vidyate yadrichaya chopapannam swargadvaram apavritam sukhina kshatriyah partha labhante yudhamidrisham atha chetvam imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tata swadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsyasi akirtim chapi bhutani kathayishyanti te vyayam sambhavitasya cha kirtim maranad atirichyate bhayadranad uparatam mansyante tvam maharathaha yesham cha tvam bahumato bhutva yasyasi laghavam. So let's see some important words, one word in each verse. So verse number 31, I want everybody to see the word swadharmam. Swadharmam, swa means one's own and dharma means according to the Vedas. So one's duty in accordance with the Vedas. Let's look at verse number 32, and the word I want you to look at is apavritam. Apavritam means the door is wide open. And in this verse, which door? The door to celestial abodes. If you are the one who do your duties in accordance with the Vedas and you stand up for your righteous behavior. Now let's move to verse number 33. Let's look at the word kirtim. Kirtim means reputation. Krishna is talking about to Arjun that you have to defend your reputation. You have to stand up and defend. So kirtim means reputation. Verse number 34. Now it goes opposite. Akirtim. Akirtim means infamy. So Krishna is saying if you don't fight the war, then you will incur sin and you will be getting infamy. And now verse number 35. Let's look at the word bahumataha. Bahumataha means high esteemed. So those people who used to keep Arjun in high esteem, if he doesn't get up and fight the war, he will lose that value. So over to you, Gagan.
Yeah, thank you, Mommy. We'll look at quick run through of the explanation for the verses. So chapter 2, verse 31, the catchphrase here is waver not, warrior. Vikampitum, that's Sri Krishna telling Arjun to not waver. And that's where we get introduced in the first couple of words itself, the first phrase, swadharmam. Swadharma refers to, our various duties in accordance with the Vedas. And there are two components, paradharma, those are duties at the spiritual level, and aparadharma, duties at the material or bodily level. And again, that is Sri Krishna giving encouragement to Arjun that based on the ashram he is in, the station in life, as well as his varna, the occupation, in this case, a Kshatriya, that will determine what duties he has and what really it means for Arjun to execute them and uphold righteousness. Chapter 2, verse 32, celestial climb. The discharge of one's duties is a very virtuous act. Yet it doesn't get us to God realization. Sri Krishna here says that it gets us, of course, to the celestial abodes. And that's the least we ought to be doing at the material and bodily level in pursuit of our duties and non-spiritual day-to-day goals. Swamiji also mentions in the commentary that here is a good example of a verse where we see that the Bhagavad Gita is a call to action. It is not about just sitting around and being in a spiritual zone 24 hours without action. We are acting all the time, and that is, of course, based on our gunas as well. So again, the Bhagavad Gita is a call to action. Chapter 2, verse 33, the content here is presented in the catchphrase itself, reject righteousness, select sin. So we see that dereliction of duty is a sinful act. And Swamiji quotes in the commentary that from the Parashar Smriti, it describes the occupational duties of a warrior. So again, very important here, Sri Krishna telling Arjun that if he gives up the opportunity to uphold dharma and righteousness, he will definitely be incurring sin. Chapter 2, verse 34, immortal infamy. So we see that respect and honor are extremely important for a warrior, and it is something, again, for Arjun to uphold. If he doesn't execute on his duties, he will incur sin. We saw that previously, but he will also be associated with infamy, which will not be temporary. It will be permanent and immortal. We, of course, do not want Arjun to have infamy associated with him all the time. So Lord Krishna here is encouraging Arjun that in case he's not yet at that spiritual level of understanding everything, it is at least important for him to get inspired by knowledge at a so-called inferior or material level. And that will, of course, help Arjun avoid being ostracized in society. Finally, chapter 2, verse 35, Arjun, of course, was very highly respected by all the great generals, and he was very valiant and gallant. He had even fought Lord Shiv for a few days when Lord Shiv was disguised as a hunter, and that earned him Lord Shiv's divine weapon, the Pashupatastra. Now, on the other side, the Kauravas would not know that Arjun was being inspired to flee and not fight the war because of his affection for his relatives. They would merely think of him as a coward. So in these 5 verses, we see how Sri Krishna gives him enough guidance and encouragement to really look at seizing the opportunities that come unsought, in fact, to a Kshatriya, to a warrior, to execute upon their duties to uphold righteousness.
So we will get back to recitation once again, and before reciting, I will want you to see verse number 32, and in that, just notice when I'm going to sing, because Kshatriya, after Kshatriya there is Visarg, and then there is word Parth. So whenever a Visarg comes before pa sound, then we, while reciting, we will take out fa sound. Okay, so I'll be singing like Kshatriya Parth. So we'll get back to recitation from 31 to 35. Swadharmam api chavekshya na vikampitum arhasi dharmyadhi yuddhat shreyo nyat kshatriyasya na vidyate yadrichaya chopapannam swargadvaram apavritam sukhina kshatriyah partha labhante yudhamidrisham atha chetvam imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tata swadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsyasi. akirtim chapi bhutani kathayishyanti te vyayam sambhavitasya chakirtim maranad atirichyate भयाद्रणाद उपरतं मन्स्यन्ते त्वां महारथाः येषां च त्वं बहुमतो भूत्वा यास्यसि लाघवम्. So hope it helps you for practicing the verses. And over to you, Gagan.
Yeah, thank you, Mummy. And again, thanks for joining. And we look forward to seeing you in our next class. That will be next Thursday. That's 29th December, Thursday, 2022. Same time for Recitation Chapter 2. And before that, in under 2 days, hopefully we'll see you for Bhagavad Gita study. That's our Chapter 6 class. That will be on Saturday, 24th December, 2022. Till then, thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.